Father, you see what nobody else sees. You see the silent battles. You see the tears I hide. You see the pressure I carry. You see the spiritual attacks that don't have names. So today, Lord, step into my situation. Interrupt every evil cycle. Break every hidden chain. Destroy every unseen opposition. Every person, every spirit, every force that is fighting me without cause. Let them be put to shame now. Confusion locate them. Let fear enter their camp. Let every plan they created in darkness collapse in the light of your power. Lord, according to Psalm 35, let the angel of the Lord pursue them. Let divine winds scatter them like dust. Let their path become dark and slippery. Let them fall suddenly. Let their own traps catch them. Every pit dug for me, turn it back. Every arrow sent to destroy me, go back to the sender. In the mighty name of Jesus, every attack on my mind, every attack on my peace, every attack on my finances, every attack on my health, every attack on my calling, I refuse to be overwhelmed. I refuse to be delayed. I refuse to be destroyed. Father, they hated me without reason. They spoke against me without truth. They gathered against me without cause. Even when I prayed for them, even when I showed love, even when I stayed silent, they still fought me. But today, you fight for me.
We declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Can't hear you, Minister. You're on mute.
Thank you for letting us come on, ladies and gentlemen, in your home, all over the country, 1132. Thank you, TikTok. You always first. Facebook, you following right behind them. Y'all doing a great thing by the thousands. I'm blessed that I've been accepted by all of you. Over 30 million of you in the last 12 months views. Me and Catherine is highly favored and highly blessed to get that many people to rock with us because we solution-based. And a lot of people don't like truth. But we see there's a lot of people in America do want to hear the truth and don't want no more lying, gossiping, dry snitching, and all the buffoonery which they get through the buffoonery. So I put on my sportswear tonight where I can get to my young people. I'm trying to get my young people from 18 to 38 tonight. I'm going for you. I got the little Michael Jordan outfit on, hat, all that. Glasses, let's go. Trying to get you to come on, man, by all means necessary. We have to come together and stop this hanging. Over 70 people from 2025 and the same crazy governor. We got to get rid of him. And he was there. He's been there 6 years. So from his time, he knows what's been going on. He's done nothing about it. We got to find somebody else that we can get in there that will speak up for us and speak up for the people, because he won't. Okay, so we know he won't. So for him to allow that to happen in his state and tell us who he is, we don't have to ask who he is. He's one of them. He has no respect for life, none. If he had respect for life, he'd have been stopped it, but he ain't trying to stop it. He doing what he do, nothing. But Governor, you coming out of there. And let me serve you notice. With God, we bringing you out of there, brother. You're no good. You're no good at all. And God don't like what you have done with from 20 to 25, 70 to 75 people been hung in Mississippi, and you've done nothing. You've done nothing. And Mississippi has a history of disrespect to our people. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, who's protecting us? Who's protecting us? Black America. It's got to be about us now, y'all. It's got to be about us. We got to come together, us that's strong enough, wise enough. And I was together with some great brothers today. I'm going to tell you what happened, but it was off the chain. And one of the brothers also sponsored this show tonight. So it was off the chain. And we love him, and may God bless him. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go forward. Who's protecting us? Who? Let's go.
Oh, thank you, Minister. That was a wonderful introduction. Before we actually move into our updates on Nolan Wells and our sister Tasia, who was found unalived behind that abandoned house in Mississippi, hung. We're actually going to lead with that story, and then we'll get into our Nolan Wells update. But I wanted to play this clip about self-sufficiency because the title of tonight's show is Who's Protecting Us? Black America, we have to answer for ourselves. And I think we've been a little lacking. I think we thought we overcame, but we didn't realize we hadn't really moved anywhere yet. Our feet wasn't moving, fam. Our feet wasn't moving. So here is Dr. Boyce Watkins with a word about self-sufficiency.
I will not tolerate existing in spaces where I am being disrespected and mistreated. I am never going to tolerate disrespect. I will walk away from disrespect every damn time. So self-sufficiency is the only way to get away from that. And that is something that takes time to build. You have to, so saving should be as much of a part of Black culture as barbecue. Investing should be as big of a part of our culture as doing line dances at somebody's wedding. Building wealth has to be as important as playing basketball. And that's all that has to happen. If you really put yourself first, Black first, also be first is also me first. That means, no, I'm not going to go up in your horrible space and let you treat me like a nigga and disrespect me and take me for granted, because God has a purpose for me. I am special. I am significant. I am relevant. And anybody that's connected to me is relevant too. What we're building is just as relevant as what you've already built. Where we're going is just as important as where you've already been and where you're trying to take me to. And in fact, actually, I am so built on self-determination. I've already made my plan for my life. Because here's the thing: if you don't make a plan for your life, then the capitalists will. If you don't own your trajectory, then you're going to be owned. Somebody else is going to shape your trajectory, and they're going to do it through economic incentives, carrots and sticks. They're going to say, okay, you are financially desperate. You are economically stuck because you didn't have a mother, father, or a partner that was going to make sure you were okay. So that pretty much means I can move you around like a chess piece. All I got to do is I put the money over here, you're going to go over here. If I put the money over there, you're going to go over there. And so really, at the end of the day, this financial security piece is about so much more than money. And when you get that right and you fix it, then you can get away from situations like this, where you're literally being sold down the river. Think about this. Black people still get sold. Just look at the NFL and the NBA draft. Look at how many you got guys out there signing up for brain damage just to have a chance to go make some money. And most of them don't make it, but they're begging to get on the team so you can get brain damage, playing football. And I'm sorry if anybody plays football. I mean, I hate to say it, but the CTE research is very, very real. That's why you see a lot of athletes doing crazy stuff like Antonio Brown. He done lost his mind because the man done took too many hits to the head. I bet you when he passes, when they open his brain up, they're gonna find all kinds of damage up in there. The man, his behavior is showing that, right? So it's either, but see, that's the thing though. That's the good outcome. The best outcome for him is I get to go out on the football field and get brain damage. The worst outcome is I never get on the field at all. So with this being sold down the river, this slave is saying prison is so bad that I literally would be relieved to have a chance to go back to slavery. That the best I can hope for is to be a good slave and have my master come get me out of jail because prison is so bad. And I would just say that you don't have to leave the depths of hell to sort of get to the middle of hell. I think the goal is to get out of hell and get to heaven. So the question is, what does heaven look like for you? What does heaven look like? I think heaven, I'm going to describe it a little bit. Maybe you can agree with me. I think heaven is peaceful. Not all that stress and chaos that you see in the world. I think heaven is where you have enough money to do what you want to do. You want to take a trip, you got the money to take a trip. You want to make an investment, you can make, right? I think heaven is being able to come through for your children. Your kids need new outfits. You can provide that.
Deep words from a deep man. And yeah, that's how I wanted to start this show off, Minister, because we have a lot of self-reflecting to do so we can put ourselves and our families in position. And I know this is something that you talk about a lot for those of you who don't know and are just joining us.
Yeah, the man spoke well. He spoke with knowledge and wisdom and understanding. What he said was true. Every word he said was true. I pray that Black America and the world hear him. We got to get up and take our money. We got to come together and be successful and stop begging people to do for us that we can do for ourselves. We got to come out of that. We too lazy. We drink too much alcohol. We eat too much food. We got obesity, high blood, kidney failure, diabetes. Food's the number one killer in the world. We live to eat. We don't eat to live. So almost 85% of the people in CVS and Walgreens. So we out here bad, man. And alcohol is a 14% decayed poison plant. So we are confused. And that's why God said, young man, our people destroyed for the lack of knowledge. We don't know who we are, or what we are. We don't even know our purpose. We just here hanging out, doing whatever, doing a bunch of buffoonery. And we hurting one another, taking each other lives, taking guns and pop on each other. We have lost our everlasting mind. God is the author of peace and not confusion. And wherever confusion is, God is not there.
Agreed. So we know he's not here in America because it's just a bunch of confusion and buffoonery.
The man, the white Christian pastor, said it the other day. This ain't no white Christian country. No way. If Christianity really had the real meaning, Christ-like, then you already know this ain't no Christian country. You killed over 100 million, unless you killed 20 million Indians. And then you put them on reservation. You never gave out reparation. Ain't no Christian country by this. And then in the Civil War, you lost over 500,000 people unalive because you want to keep us in slavery. You didn't hear what I said. More than World War II, more than Vietnam, over 59,000. You put all the wars together. 500,000 people lost their life because America government want to keep us in slavery. Did you know that?
Yes.
500,000 people died behind that buffoonery. So welcome to America. What's up, young man? Assalamu alaikum. How you doing? How you doing, sir? Okay. So let's go to the next clip.
Okay, we're going to move over to this update on Tasia Fortune. It's a 29-year-old young lady who was found unalived hanging from a tree in Mississippi. And they have a person of interest. So we're going to watch this news clip.
Emphasize this person of interest, since they have not been charged with a crime in this case. We are not disclosing their name or showing their photo. 1 week now since 29-year-old Tasia Fortune's body was found hanging from a tree in the backyard of a vacant house in West Jackson. We could soon find out more about how Fortune died.
We're expecting to hear on Thursday from the state medical examiner as what the official cause of death is.
According to testimony in municipal court, investigators have charged an individual as a person of interest on unrelated charges. The 65-year-old man was questioned in the hours after Fortune was found hanging from a tree. in the backyard of a vacant house on Road of Remembrance 1 week ago.
People are upset about it, and quite naturally they should be. This is something that's a very disturbing situation and case in our city and in our state, but we're not going to jump to conclusions.
Officers found the gun on the man and realized he was a convicted felon. They charged him with being a felon in possession of a firearm. Authorities say the person lives on the same street where Fortune's remains were found. They say he admitted to arguing with Fortune 2 days before her remains were found, but he denied harming her. Given Mississippi's reputation of racially motivated lynchings, Mayor Horn says he understands why many may be feeling afraid.
When incidents like this pop up, the natural conclusion is, oh, there's something very heinous and that harkens back to our past that's a part of this. I'm not sure that's the case at this point.
That person of interest, who again we are not naming or showing their photograph, that individual was being held, was given a bond for $250,000 on that charge of being a felon and in possession of a firearm. And we just checked the recent Hinds County inmate detail. That person is still listed as someone inside Raymond Detention Center. For now, we're live at JPD headquarters. Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
Well, that is our update on Miss Tasia Fountain. And like the mayor was saying, this story has been triggering for a lot of people in America. And I'm sure, especially for those who are in Mississippi, where a lot of these hanging cases go unresolved, or the conclusion as to how the crimes happen have been unsatisfactory, with them saying, that it's inconclusive or that the person unalived themselves. And it's just hard to fathom. It's hard to swallow, Minister.
Well, the mayor, I don't know what's wrong with him. Talking about jump to conclusions. The lady didn't hang herself. Hell, you talking about jump to conclusion? The Ku Klux Klan, the skinheads, the Proud Boys, or somebody joined, did initiation. It's one of them. Why we keep playing these games? Why? So black people walk around with a rope in their goddamn back pocket and waiting on some Caucasian to come hang them on a tree. I'm asking a question. All you cowards, you scared to speak the truth, and that young lady's life has been taken. You rotten bastards. You can't even be a damn man and speak the truth. You know damn well it's racist. It's systemic racism from a Ku Klux Klan, skinhead, Proud Boy, or one of them. Black folks don't walk around with no damn rope in their back pocket waiting for some white boy to hang them. So stop the bullshit. I'm sick of it. Young lady dead. Life gone, unalive. And we come on here. Well, I don't want to rush to no conclusions, and I don't want to shut the hell up. Damn cowards. Over 100 black people, not one white, not one Asian, not one Chinese, all black, young, and 75 have been hung since 2025, and the goddamn governor ain't done nothing. And we sit up here and play, and the news ain't done nothing. CNN, MSNBC, Fox ain't gonna do nothing. Nothing. But if you hang 50 dogs that come from a wolf, they'll stop America. And we 3/5 film about the Dred Scott case, 1857. If that's true and it ain't, then who are you, Mr. White Man? You come from us. You ain't been here for 6,000 years. We've been here for millions of years. The Mineral Law prove that. So again, my sister, I would not let the mayor, the governor, or none of them chumps, cowards, TikTok, come on here, talking about what happened to that young girl What's her name again?
Tasia Fortune.
Miss Tasia Fortune, mother. Miss Fortune, please hear me. Mr. Fortune. I'm begging and I'm pleading with God to give me the power and give us the power to bring justice to the Ku Klux Klan, the Proud Boys, the skinheads, and them low-down bastards. That's animals. And that's why they run around like this. They animals. Ain't no police never done that. To Donald Trump, gave them thugs, badges, and guns. So again, ladies and gentlemen, the same thugs ran up in the office in January the 6th. So they let you know if a president got 34 felons the president, and you see how he treat women, and you already know about the Osteen file. So again, your democracy ain't worth a damn. It don't protect the people. One man started a war. One man that took almost $3 to $4 billion, and then say he don't want to be audited and don't want his people to be taxed. Let's put a law in. Let's put a law that me and my children can't. Because they done took so much money. And the governor and the mayor there ain't worth a damn. Mayor, we don't want to rush to say nothing, and we don't. But man, shut the hell up. You know damn well it's a Ku Klux Klan, a skinhead Proud Boy, or somebody like them. I don't know all the racist organizations, but I know those three. The militia group don't do that. They stand against the government for justice. So again, it's out of line what happened to that beautiful, beautiful misfortune. To the mother and the father, we love you. And I'm asking God to give us the power to convict them racist bastards one by one. It's a curse on them and their family. And they're going to hell with a gasoline jacket on. And last night I said, and I'm saying again, we wanted 10,000 men from Navy, Air Force, Army, Marines, where we can have the money, put the money together and pay them anywhere from $20 to $50 an hour and put them there for 1 year and keep switching them out and keep training the young men. Once we do Mississippi like that, all the racist states that are hanging at, we go to each one of them. North Carolina, South Carolina, Arkansas. We'll keep going to them. And then we'll build a presence, real police presence, real protecting the people. And that's what we will do. And we'll have the power, the money, and the 5,000 having bacon angels that follow me and protect me. And the biggest organization in America will be a part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to do this. We have to protect our wife, our women, and our children. And if we don't, black man, then we're not a man. We're a boy. And we do too much buffoonery and foolishness. And we're not on top of our game, and we're not watching our family and our children. Protect your daughters, brother. Protect your sons. Protect your wives. Protect your mothers. We must do that. We have a right to protect ourselves. As Malcolm said, by all means necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. I appreciate your comments on that. I also found a therapist reacting to the tragedy that Tasia Fortune met, her tragic fate, and the impact that it's having on Americans. I'm not going to even say Black Americans at this point, because I think there are others that are traumatized by this as well. Just he's reacting to that. Hold on, here we go.
Stop thinking about the young lady that was found hanging from a tree in the back of a building in Jackson, Mississippi. And I want to talk about it with you. The young lady's name was Tasia Fortune. And she was found hanging from a tree so high that when they found her, after being there for apparently 3 to 4 days, they had to get a fire truck ladder to lower her down. And upon this discovery, the local authorities are trying to convince the community that there is no foul play. They're trying to convince the community that this young Black woman climbed up this tree that was so high they needed a fire truck ladder to get her down and cause this death on her own. Now, what's so alarming about this is, according to some reports, this is the 70th lynching since 2020. It seems like America has reverted back to the pre-civil rights days, and the black community is just supposed to be quiet about this, because when black people like myself speak up against this, there are people saying that we are defaming people and causing trouble, causing ruckus. There was no problem in Mississippi until Ben Crump arrived. But the truth is, they're trying to cause terror within the black community. These things are happening to the black and brown community, and it is not good for our society or our mental health. And we need to take action. We need to speak louder about these injustices. We need to hold our elected officials accountable, whether it's the senators, the congressmen and women, whether it is elected judges and any other officials in law enforcement, and say, we will not tolerate this. White people, black people, all of us need to band together and say, we don't want to live in a community where they're being targeted and there is absolute terror being inflicted upon that community. It is time to rise up and make noise and be vigilant and be passionate and create change. It's time that we start behaving like the leaders of the civil rights movement behaved, who absolutely said, we will not tolerate this, we will galvanize, we will create change, because if we don't, we're going to continue to dissolve into a much darker time. And now is the time to rise up. Now is the time to say enough is enough. Now is the time.
What's his name?
Thank you. Elliot Speaks is his name on YouTube.
Send him a thing. Tell him I'd like for him to come on. Next time we come on, send it to him. He did a wonderful job. He spoke very well. Anybody know this is systemic racism, okay? Ain't no 70-something people walking around with a rope waiting for some Caucasian to grab them, Ku Klux Klan, KKK, the same people, skinhead, Proud Boys, and all the rest of the names they got. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this is nothing to play with. They are hanging our young girls and young boys on purpose. They're trying to start a civil war. This is not a joke. The civil war got to start here first, though, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to start here mentally and spiritually. We sleep on the job. We sleep on the job. Who was this? What they said?
Khalil Laney. I'm probably saying this all wrong, so forgive me. But 3469 from YouTube says allegedly Terrence Anderson has been arrested on separate charges, but has been seen with Tasia Fortune for days on multiple cameras leading up to her disappearance and subsequent unaliving. That may have been the suspect that they were saying was in custody. I haven't had a chance to verify this, but thank you, viewer. We appreciate you, fam.
Thank you, young man. May God bless you. May God keep you. Whoever had something to do with that, and whoever seen it and didn't say nothing, you are a straight coward. You're going to hell with a gasoline jacket on. And you that know who did it, you need to put a note on it or whatever you need to do. Jackson, Mississippi. This is sad in 2026. Almost over 70 people since 20 with the same governor. This is bad. This is really bad. This is disrespect to every mother and every father in Mississippi and in the state of the United States. This is worldwide, off the chain. We allowing these Ku Klux Klan, skinhead and Proud Boys to take over and disrespect us in our face. Y'all don't even see this. They disrespect us in our face. They bringing slavery back. So they lying, talking about she climbed up there and jumped off the rope. Man, stop. You know damn well them people done that, man. Let's stop playing the game. They done it. All you cowards scared to say it, I'm saying it. It's a damn shame that y'all can't speak the truth. God say, fear no one but me. Speak the truth. Do it for the baby. Do it for a mother and a father. And for the ones that love this beautiful young baby that her life has been taken. And Catherine, thank you for bringing this to me. And may God bless you and your family, your mother and your children and grandchild. May God bless you.
Oh, thank you. Blessings to your people, your family, your tribe as well. Beautiful individuals. And I want to say thank you, fam, for y'all joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, whichever social media platform you're watching us on. So we're talking about accountability and keeping our stories alive and fresh. And we know not everybody is going to be in the streets talking about no justice, no peace, right? Some of us are going to be in our homes and we like to scroll. We like our social media. We like to keep up. But what I'm asking you is to like, share, subscribe, or comment on our shows for sure. It helps keep these stories about Tasia Fortune and Nolan Wells and Lil Cohen Wiley, which is the 1-year-old who was unalived by a police officer in a Walmart parking lot. It keeps stories like Carmelo Anthony, who will be going back to trial on August 19th. He's got another hearing coming up. It helps keep those stories fresh, alive, and in the algorithm so that America doesn't forget. So it doesn't just speed on by like most of our news cycle. So we're going to trick them. And it's a small thing, but when you like, subscribe, and share, you're having a great impact on these stories. All right, that's my spiel for today, Minister. And so now we're actually going to transition to talk about Nolan Wells and his update on him. His friends, quote unquote friends, are speaking out again. I know that they went to Horn Island where the incident took place, and they're again talking to Brandon Tatum. Hey, giving him shine on the show, but they're talking to former officer that they spoke with before. Yes, sir.
TikTok didn't hear me a while ago. I muted the sound and muted myself. I'm trying to mute that dude's song. That young lady name again, I wanted to hear it so I can say it.
Tasia Fortune.
Tasia Fortune, how old is she? 14?
She was 29.
29 years old, hung in the back of a house. And the mayor with his weak self came up there talking about, I don't want to hear that. Ain't no 70 black people was walking around with a rope in their back pocket, waiting for some Ku Klux Klan, skinhead, Proud Boys, or whatever to come hang them. And she was so far up there, they had to go get a fire truck with a ladder and reach way up there. So I guess she climbed up there, huh? Stop trying to make a mockery out of this, man. Mississippi is burning. Mississippi is Ku Klux Klanish. And we're going to take 10,000 men there from the Navy, Air Force, Marines, Army, and train young men, qualified, to stop it. The governor ain't going to do nothing. He's been there 6 years. He ain't did nothing. What the governor name? What's his name?
Is it Troy Reeves?
As in, he ain't nothing. He's nothing. Cold coward. He's going to hell with a gasoline jacket on. So I had to say that to you all because I want y'all to know we're speaking about the young girl that's been unalive. May God bless you. Let's go.
Okay, so we're going to check in with Don Lemon as he and comment on his interview or his reaction to the interview with Nolan's quote unquote friends. Here we go.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5. Boy, do we have a big show for you, so I'm going to get right to it because we have some major guests waiting. We have the legendary Ty Cobb waiting, who was Donald Trump's attorney, I think, during the impeachment, and then is no longer a fan of Donald Trump, to say the least. And then Justin Pearson is here. You know, Justin Pearson just won his primary in Tennessee, and we're going to talk to him about his win and the state of the race. And we're also going to talk about what's happening with Nolan Wells. First, I want to give you a breaking news update, and then I will bring in the legendary Ty Cobb to talk about how he feels about this, about Todd Blanche being named the Attorney General, not just the acting Attorney General, but now the official Attorney General of the United States. But first, this morning we talked about, make sure you hit the like and the thumbs up in the court of public opinion, not some random journalist or who wandered into this case. He's a very clear political identity and a very clear audience. The last interview with him already got heat. Nolan's family pushed back on parts of the coverage, and yet they chose him again. That tells you something. It tells you that they like that platform. They think it helps them. Maybe they think his audience is more likely to believe them. Maybe they think he will give them room to tell their side without the kind of questioning they would get somewhere else. Whatever the reason, it is a choice. And people are allowed to notice it. Just as it is their choice to do it, people are allowed to notice it as well, especially when race is already part of the public conversation around Nolan's death. And they talk about that as well. They say that I think they're getting race, people talking about race and racism and racist all confused. It's not, just because you talk about race, it doesn't mean that it's racist. Just because race plays a role doesn't mean that it's racist. I mean, there are some things that, I was talking to someone today and they called it small town thinking or small minded thinking. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood. In this new interview, the friends pushed back hard on the idea that race had anything to do with what happened. One of them says that their friendship with Nolan proves the opposite. Okay. Look, I have friends of all ethnicity. You guys know who I'm married to. I don't think that settles anything. Having a black friend does not answer every question about race. It also does not prove racism had anything to do with Nolan's death. Both of those things can be true. I'm not interested in focusing on an answer before the evidence gives us one. But I do think it is fair to ask why they keep choosing such a politically loaded place to make their case.
Stop.
This is now part.
Look, man, I'm not listening to that. I love Mr. Lemon. He got 25 years. He's a most powerful man. I don't know why he ain't saying what he knows in his heart. So I'm going to say it for him, TikTok. Race did play a part. It's systemic racism. Anytime 4 people go out and then Bart lie and say he wasn't there, then we find out it's his ex-girlfriend. Then we on a thing with Willie D. Willie D showed a picture of Bart and his ex-girlfriend, then the picture with the girl and Nolan. So let's stop it. And then all of a sudden, y'all go out there with him, but if 3 black boys went out there with a white boy and they came back without him, they'd be in jail. I don't want to hear this bull crap, man. It's systemic racism. Race is playing completely a part in the whole Mississippi. So I'm not finna sit here and play with y'all. Had the damn boy keys, had his goddamn telephone. I don't want to hear this buffoonery. And when the mama had to trace the phone down, and when the phone they had deleted, people delete stuff because they're trying to get stuff out of the phone where they won't be found guilty. Then they took his damn body and took body parts away from him. So when the body got to Washington, D.C., they couldn't tell what they had done to it. So stop this bull crap. Then they went to a damn club afterwards. They weren't on no damn search team. They was at a club partying. Was they partying because they killed the nigga? What was they partying over? Tell me what they was partying over. Went to 2 parties, then left there and went to a restaurant and went home and never called Nolan, never called his mama or daddy. I don't want to hear this thing. Then the daddy, grandfather called in and say, the bank's sinking, don't worry about the boat sinking, already taken care. He took care because they had to give him some more time to do what they had to do with the body. And then the girl heard them say, unalive him. So stop the lies. Then the girls say something inconsistent with what they said. Then the boys come on today because they trying to whitewash it and whitewash it and whitewash it. Them all 4 of them guilty. Who did what? I don't know. Now, I don't know that. But I do know all 4 of them are guilty. I do know that. And the boy Bart is so powerful. He's a doctor and he's going to play NFL because he kicked the ball so far. So it's a con game. So Don Lemon, I love you. May God bless you. But I'm not going for that, man. It's systemic racism. That's exactly what it is. And I would not let you or nobody else come on no show in the front of me and act like it's not. And you that can't take the truth, change it out. Because I'm not playing with it. The most racist president we ever had in the world is in there right now. And they say 27 psychiatrists said he's the most dangerous man in the world in there. So it doesn't trickle down. You that don't know nothing about no psychosocial assessment and dynamic, you don't know nothing about no mental health behavior. This is why all this stuff is going on. It's at the top and it trickle down. Y'all don't understand that. You do not understand that. That's why so many people unaliving themselves. That's why all these shooting and pop-outs going on, fighting, domestic violence, alcohol. This is what all this going on for. The democracy ain't worth a damn if the democracy let one man start a war. One man steal all the money and Israel controlling it. Huh? And y'all done nothing. Stop it. Stop it. Let's go.
Okay, we'll pick up. Thank you, Minister.
Part of the story, not because I want it to be, but because they keep making it part of the story. And that is what I was getting at this morning. If the goal is to lower the temperature, they are not doing that. They went back to Horn Island. They hired lawyers who are talking publicly. They are threatening defamation suits. Now they are doing another interview. And so that doesn't appear to be backing away at all. It's bringing more attention.
They kind of change the narrative.
And then trying to manage it.
It won't happen.
Maybe it's what their attorneys think that they have to do. Fine, if that's what they think, but then call it what it is. It is a defense strategy. It is a public strategy. And none of that answers what happened to Nolan. That's the part that I don't want to get lost in all of this, because every few days there's another thing, another interview, another clip, another lawyer, another explanation, another argument online. And Nolan is still dead. His parents are still waiting. We still don't know how he died. That is the thing that should bother everyone. Not whether Warren sounded convincing enough, not whether Jax gave a good answer, not whether Officer Tater likes their explanation, not whether somebody on TikTok thinks they cracked the case. What happened to Nolan? What happened to Nolan? That is still the question. And I think people are tired of being told that they have to choose a side before we even have the answer. You don't have to. You can say that these young men have been unfairly accused by some people. You can also say their media choices are strange. You can say Warren sounds genuinely upset to some.
Stop. Here we go with that. Here we go with that again. All 4 of them are guilty. I put my life on it. All 4 of them guilty. They left the boy there. They weren't on the search party. They weren't on the search team. You heard them with the tape when they called in and say the boat was sinking. No damn boat was sinking. They were trying to figure what to do. Then the grandfather that owned the boat, he called in and told the police, don't go. I got it. Where they could go in and get their lie together. And then his name on the paperwork too. Now all this is a setup. All I'm trying to say to them boys, this is a cleanup move by the boys coming out, going back. And one time I wish I never would have went. All this is a con game, man, trying to clean up their image. All 4 of them guilty. Mr. Lemon, you can't say it, right? I can. So again, all of them guilty. We have enough evidence to prove that they are guilty. Now we don't know who did what, but they did it. All 4 of them need to be locked up and pressured. Thank you.
Okay. Let us listen to a few more minutes of Dawn.
To others, not so much. You can also say regret is not evidence. You can say that they have every right to defend themselves. You can also say the public has every right to look at what they are saying and ask whether it makes sense. It's not that complicated. The complicated part is the actual death investigation. And the question is, what happened to Nolan Wells? At the end of the day, an official investigation will determine that. not interviews on social media or digital platforms or far right-wing commentators. That's what will get the answers that people are asking for. What happened to Nolan Wells? We're going to continue to talk about this. We're going to play you some of the interview in just moments, but I want to get to my next guest here, who is
years since declaring independence from kings and divine rule and religious freedom
are likely to sweep the Republicans at least out of the House.
Okay, I'm trying to pick up
every
y'all.
other at a time when it would be in their client's interest to just shut up. It's a difficult decision whether to come forward and generate press. Typically, you do that in the face of injustice. I do think, to the extent that the people that are being maligned are being unfairly maligned, it's reasonable for a lawyer to speak up. But I think the amount of talking in the various places that they're doing it they're probably oversaturating it. I think we just don't know enough really about what happened, and I think until the toxicology results come out and the autopsy is final. Ask me this.
Brent, I'm glad I called the Coast Guard. I'm glad I made the first contact within all of this. I'm glad I was the first one that called Christine Wells that night and told her that we haven't heard from her son. And I'm glad that I did all of that, but I hate the way this has been perceived by the media and portrayed. This has been absolutely horrible with the way and the things that they've said to us and done. But other than that, I mean, there's not much I would change from my point of view and my friend's point of view. I think we did everything right, and I know we did nothing wrong.
I also want to say, I think it's so criminal that they took something so anti-racist and flipped it into something super racist. Like they took, this is the definition of anti-racism. I mean, that we did not look at Nolan any different than I looked at him, or even you. You know, this is literally our brother. I mean, like we stated, we did not treat him any different.
You're a damn lie. If one of them white boys would have been left behind, they'd have stayed there and been on the search team. So I don't want to hear them lie. They left there. They left there and went to a party, Miss TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. They went to a party. Why would you go to a party when the brother doesn't come up missing? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, 2 parties, and then left there and went to eat. So I don't want to hear that. Then the mother had to track the phone. Why ain't tell the mother, you got the phone? I ain't hear that. So again, and then when she get the phone, it's deleted. Come on, y'all, stop. Then you take his body part, the coroner take the body part, somebody pay him. Why he ain't been indicted? I'm confused with all this, Ben Crump. Why the guy that took this boy throat, took his stomach, and took all his body part, then sent it right up to the DC with inclusive, they can't do nothing with it because everything they had to do to find was it guilty or not, they took it out. This is Ku Klux Klanish. All 4 of them guilty. I don't know if brought up there. All of them, 4 of them guilty. It's just some of them did more than other one. And that's a fact. All this like we didn't do nothing, and we look at them and shut the hell up. Go on with that. They trying to whitewash this, trying to make this look good. They're trying to change the narrative, and they got this house Negro up here that's been speaking crazy, this police officer. Look, man, this is a bunch of bull crap. I don't want to hear it. Let's go. I don't want no more of that.
So you want to move away from this video?
Every time they say something crazy, I'm going to stop it. Let's go.
Okay.
We didn't treat Trayson any different. We don't treat Trayson any different. And they just flipped it. And I just think that is so wild that they're pushing this thing that they're saying, oh, they want to end racism and all this stuff. Well, they're the one pushing it. They're pushing the racism. And I just think that's kind of crazy.
Morgan, what's your thoughts on this? How does it affect you?
I mean, first I want to say wish this would have never happened. I wish Nolan would still be here with us today. And but
Stop it. If you wanted Nolan to be here today, then you'd have stopped whatever happened to him while you was there. It was 4 of y'all that could have stopped whatever happened to him. So I don't want to hear that bull crap. You don't want to go to prison. That's why you're on this panel. And your mama them engaged with y'all and got y'all ready to speak. How did 70 people in Mississippi come up hung? Have you heard one of them say anything about it? Have you heard one of them protest? And he's one of us and we look at him the same way. You're a damn lie. Stop, man. Your history, Mississippi is burning. This is a setup here to try to whitewash and clean up the act and change the narrative. And these boys come on for that. And that's why Don Lemon sitting up there, he can't say what I'm saying. It's an act. It's systemic racism, and them white boys was a part of it. And them 3 plus the other one bought. So again, why you get mother the phone? Why ain't call? Man, stop. You ain't go to the funeral. I don't want to hear it. It's a damn lie. It's a lie. And all of a sudden, the same girl Bart had, Nolan had. Uh-oh. And then Bart lied and say he wasn't there. You do know that, right, Miss Mill?
Yes, I do.
So again, this is systemic racism at its best. They got this house Negro, this coon, this police officer, don't know what the hell he doing. He just blind, deaf, and dumb. And that's all he is. That's all this is. They playing game, TikTok. Let's go.
In my opinion, I think that the media, they shouldn't have pushed a narrative from so early. I think that they should have let the local officials do their job, let them release statements, and then
stop it. How can a local official do their job when you take all his body parts out, take his throat out, his stomach out, take everything out of him, so they can't do the forensic. They can't do nothing with them. When the body got down to DC, the man said, "Ain't nothing here I can do nothing with."
And remember, initially, the sheriff said that there was no signs of foul play immediately after Nolan's body was found.
It's a con game, y'all. And all you cowards scared to speak up, okay, just get you out the way. God said, fear no one but him. But I'm talking to you cowards and they ain't gonna say nothing. I'm scared, master. I don't want to say nothing. You ain't no man. You're a boy. You're a boy. I don't give a damn. You're 50, 60, 40. You're a boy. You're a boy. Because you're not man enough to speak the truth. Anybody know this? Ray Charles from the graveyard know it. Stevie Wonder know it. This is systemic racism. And these boys trying to clean their name up. This all this is. Trying to change the narrative and got this house Negro with them doing it. Let's go.
I mean, the media is obviously going to see that and then do whatever they do. But that's what I mean. I trust the local officials.
Okay. Where do we start? Okay. Why did they put these young men in a position where people would have to respond to what they had to say? Because as you heard what Ty Cobb said there's nothing wrong with the attorneys getting out there, releasing a statement if they want to do a cease and desist or whatever it is, but to put these young men out there who they're young and they're naive, let's put it that. I mean, of course they are. They're young. They're 18 years old. First of all, there's a difference. People are mostly discussing the element of race in this case. And speaking about race or the element of race is not necessarily racism or racist. There is a difference. There's nuance. Everything is not black and white. And so I'm not sure if they understand that. From what it sounds like, in my opinion, they don't understand what the difference is. And perhaps they don't. Look, this is what happens, quite honestly, when you live in privilege and you don't understand. Because with that, for me, I know that the people I know would have said something akin to. I love Don like a brother, and we didn't treat him any differently. But of course, we're aware. We are keenly aware of someone who has a Black friend, of the injustices that happen to Black people and Black men. We talked about that always. That was one of the reasons that I loved Don, because he held us to account on those issues, and he helped us to understand. So our loss is even greater, because not only did we have a friend, we had someone who could educate us and teach us things that we may not necessarily have gotten in our own bubble. But just as I said with the Emmanuel guy and maybe some of the folks who are advising these kids, sometimes you're too close to the forest. You can't see the forest for the trees.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Thing about attorney.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a bunch.
And having lived in New York,
Stop it. This is a bunch of.
This doesn't help.
Hey there, Don, and hello to.
Let me see what he's gonna say.
Elimination. I mean, when I saw that they were sitting down for another round of interviews with the same figure that they conducted the first round of interviews with, I just thought, as you've said throughout the show, who is working with them? Because again, I understand if you are out there saying, listen, I want to make the case that I'm innocent, my name's being, driven to the mud, people are saying I'm guilty, so I want to clarify that I'm innocent. But if you didn't feel like that message was properly delivered the first time through the medium that you chose, why do you think it's going to be delivered the right time through the same medium? Right? Don't they say craziness if he's doing the same thing multiple times and expecting a different result? So I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to advise them to talk or not talk, but I just don't get why they're choosing the same interviewer.
Yeah, but also, this is a thing that I just alluded to a little bit this morning. I talked a little bit with we had a crisis PR person. It seems that they are trying to blame others for their own mistakes. And he asks them in the questioning, right, in the initial questioning, what if you could have handled this? So it is Andy, can you put it back up? Now, I want everybody to listen to this question, okay? First of all, it's like, I'm not just saying this because it's Tater, but if it was anybody asking this question, I'd be saying the same thing. What I used to do and what my producers used to do to me in my ear when I was in legacy media, they would say, get to the question, ask the question. But there's also the question, the way someone says it or asks the question tells you everything. From this initial question, it is obvious that this is damage control, right? Or reputation setting or resetting or whatever it is. Not about innocence or guilt, I'm talking about public opinion. It is obvious that this is, someone said, we need to get it out, we trust you, or something like that, in my opinion, right? Or maybe he innately understands that what his job is, what his mission is. Listen to the question, because it says the question answers everything. Go ahead.
If you can go back to the very beginning of this, how do you think this should have played out? Because I always question in my mind that when I go back, I look at what happened, I look at the initial stories with Nolan, and you guys knew him, right? I didn't know him. I know none of you guys. I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently. But how do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found deceased. How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
Well, okay. First off,
thank you, Andy.
Wait. I'm nervous.
It's look, a very simple.
Hey man, this is a setup. I don't want to look at no more of it. This is mockery. That boy is unalive, and these cowards sitting up there knowing damn well they know what happened. They know what happened. There was a part of it. I don't know who did what, but all four of them know what happened. I don't want to go out there because I really believe Bart had a lot to do with it, because it's add up film lying. Then there's his ex-girlfriend. It's just a whole lot is there. So again, man, but I know for a fact all four of them know what happened and they participate. Now who did what or who did the most, I don't know that. It looked like but I don't know that. So again, all four of them, it's systemic racism. I ain't jumped into no damn conclusion, I'm jumping to a fact. We have enough evidence to prove it's a homicide. So I don't want no more of that bull crap. Let's go. Let's go to something else. Let's go.
Okay, well, I wanted to make a slight switch about we're talking about the judicial system, and of course, we have to answer for ourselves. Now, y'all, this is a history lesson from 1770, but it's critical because if they could do it then, we can do it now. There's a black jury protest rewrite justice.
All white juries. In 1770, the bustling docks of colonial America echoed with more than the sounds of trade and ship horns. Black men and women, pushed to society's margins, were dragged into courtrooms, facing judgment not by peers, but by all white juries. The injustice was undeniable, and black defendants began to resist openly. Imagine tense courtrooms in port cities like Boston and Philadelphia. Black dock workers, sailors, and merchants stood quietly yet defiantly, challenging the court's right to try them without black jurors. Their silent protests sent powerful waves through the legal system. Some refused to answer questions. Others boldly demanded to know why no one who looked like them sat in the jury box. These acts of courage forced colonial authorities to confront their own glaring double standards. Though the law did not change overnight, the black dockside jury protests planted vital seeds for future legal battles and the long fight for civil rights. Justice demanded fairness. Follow.
Now, looking at
question is, a very simple question would be.
Oh, sorry, y'all, I didn't mean to do that. The more things change, the more they stay exactly the same. I'm watching that and what they fought for, and then I look at Carmelo Anthony's trial and what and I say we, me, a collective we, allowed to happen as far as that jury is concerned.
Yes, ma'am.
So from your years in the courtroom, Minister, as a freedom fighter and fighting for your own freedom as well, what can be done if you face a jury that is where the racial mix is not favorable? You don't have a jury of your peers. There's no one on it that looks like you. And your attorney is not being cooperative or is not advocating for you. Well, I guess I'm advocating for myself, fam. Y'all tell me what y'all would like to.
I just let you went on with it and said I thought you was gonna go. I'm standing up, and I go to Congress. I go in front of y'all president or whoever, and I will win the case. It's systemic racism at its best in Mississippi. Ain't no 70 people walking around that look like me, had a rope in their back pocket, waiting for some skinhead, Proud Boy, Ku Klux Klan to come hang them on the tree. So
right, Minister, but I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about Carmelo Anthony, the judicial hanging.
Oh, you know that was a hanging, all white jury, and then the judge told him to hurry back. You do know he said that, right? The judge,
right, but I was just saying, I don't know if you saw the clip that I played prior to where they were talking about the black dockside workers who would protest until they got a jury of their peers.
Yes,
and how they laid the groundwork, but somehow we lost that in Carmelo Anthony's case.
Yes. Yeah. And we need to play that all the time until he gets justice. That was 1877, wasn't it?
No, it was 1770.
1770?
1770.
1770, yes. So I got that wrong, but I heard that. They stood up and they fought. And they don't want us to know that. They don't want us to know that. I think I sent that to you. I know I sent it to you. They don't want us to know that. So what you saying is, who's protecting us? It's got to be us.
So in that, right, but in that instance, what would a person do? I mean, just speaking from your experience as a freedom
I'm not going to trial with nobody of my peers. I'm not. We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop it. No, you're not gonna try me like this with a whole Ku Klux Klan. No, I'm not doing that. No, lock me up for contempt of court or whatever you want to do, but I want a jury of my peers.
So again, it's not stop being afraid and stop being trusting. Is that
stop being afraid? We're too afraid of these people. They have put fear into us. When you got fear in you, fear, distrust, and envy, 1712, Willie Lynch. We got to get the fear out of us. We don't fear each other. We pow each other. We got to get the fear and stop letting these people punk us, because it's buffoonery in Mississippi. It's buffoonery. Mississippi is burning, and the governor needs to go immediately. And what them people did in 1770, we need to do it now. Thank you.
Okay. So do you think some of this, just looking at our own backyard, is caused because of maybe a little self-hatred that we have, the condition to have, and thinking that white is right or better than what we have right now? Well, fam, I do. That is exactly what I think.
Speak up then.
I am speaking up. I think that we have.
You talk about your mother being at the back of the bus. You spoke strong, and you speak strong now.
Okay, I speak as I'm comfortable. It's been a long day, fam. So it's just my thoughts that we have fallen in love with Eurocentric ideas. We have fallen in love with what they have told us that we should be. And I know we all fight for our identity, right? So we're all always calling ourselves Black kings and queens. And a lot of us will reference that, hey, Jesus was Black, and that there were no white people in the Old Testament. Everybody was Black. And some people still reject that, which is amazing to me, by the way, because that is the absolute truth of the matter. But at the same time, we have fallen in love with the Eurocentric idea of who we should supposed to be, and thinking that somehow being aligned with that and separating ourselves from our Blackness makes us better. So we bought into the lie. So I wanted to say that before I played this clip, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss it, fam.
And ask my audiences, I said, how many Black people in my audience? I asked them, how many of you have ever met a Black person that isn't Black? The Black person that will try to be anything else. Did I mention how much Native American I have in me? Oh, and I understand based on my DNA now that my people come from Switzerland. All of a sudden, anything that I can tell you that will convince you that I'm not Black, right? And everybody Black knows that. Well, I have another word for it. It's called post-traumatic slave syndrome. Post-traumatic slave syndrome is exactly what it sounds like. It's multi-generational trauma, intergenerational trauma, as it relates to people of African descent. Being separated from your native land, being beaten, being sold, being raped, being experimented on, any number of things. As an enslaved African woman, you had no rights to your own body. No rights at all to your own body. And it didn't start when you were a woman. You know, that's the other kind of mythology when we talk about rapes. We're thinking about women. You think they waited till they were 18? You think few girls got to teenage years without having been raped? To imagine being a mother someone just comes in the middle of the night and says, we have some visitors. They like young ones, so we're going to pass her along to the visitors that night. So you can't wrap your head around that. And we want to really believe that, that just happened a couple of times. Well, according to a mid-1800s census, there are over 600,000 mixed-race babies born. That's a lot of sneaking out back.
Come on.
It is more than that, but I just
it's millions.
It's millions, and I'm not saying. I think it creates a complicated situation for us, especially those of us who went ahead and swabbed our mouth and took their DNA test. I am one of them, and I would laugh because of the way I guess I speak and the way I carry myself. For some reason, people kept thinking I was going to come back about 30% European. Well, haha, joke's on y'all, because I came back less than 15. And I am mostly all African. Thank you, Jesus. So I am happy for that. That was great for me. But I know it's hard because we have that other in us and we want to acknowledge it, and we don't want that to be all bad, But at the end of the day, we are African that are in America. We have a unique DNA footprint, but that means that we inherited twice the trauma, if you really want to think about it. We inherited the trauma of being being enslaved people, and we inherited the trauma of being the enslaver. So we got both of that fighting genetically in our bloodlines. So we got two curses that need to be combated. That's a lot, fam. That's a lot. And we wonder what's wrong with us, why we can't get along. It's because we got these competing bloodlines going on. And we're going to have to not necessarily pick a side, but you're going to have to reconcile that. We can't afford to be hateful of one group of people because of their hue, because we're carrying the same genetic footprint that they're carrying. We're carrying that same legacy of trauma and drama and evil. Unfortunately, that's just what it is. If you're in any way related to some of these people, they go back to the Mayflower. They're happy to say they go back to the Mayflower. So that is what I just want to say. So it's just a lot. It's not anything, the blood of Christ can clear up and break a lot of chains and get rid of a lot of shame, and it sets us free. We don't never trust that, but it really does. So it takes time, it takes patience, it takes a whole lot of prayer, a whole lot of grace, and a whole lot of mercy, but we can get there. We can get there. So I'm finna put, I don't know if the minister is back yet. So we're just going to end it there. I just want you to meditate on that, because the last thing I said in the opening of the show was that we're going to have hard conversations with ourselves. We're going to have to look in the mirror and decide who we are. And we have to answer questions for ourselves, because we have to be accountable to ourselves first. They say, to thine own self be true. We have to be true to who we are. We can't lie, put our heads in the sand. We got to look at and take the dirty, rot, gut, dusty floor truth, reconcile with it, and move forward. It's shameful to hide it or think we can hide it. That's where the pain starts to express itself in ways that are self-destructive. So that's all, fam. I don't have a PhD in anything. I just know what I see. I know what I've been through myself as a Black woman in this country. Some unbelievable things put on me by my own people and put on me by people that don't look like me. It's always that. So I just want you to keep it real with yourself. Always ask yourself what you can do to make this life better, what you can do to make the conditions of our people better, what you can do to help save somebody's life. And remind you, you ain't got to give nobody no money. Sometimes you can just give somebody a smile or a hug or a word of encouragement. Those go a long way. People just like to know they're being seen. And further than that, when you see something, say something. When you see somebody being mistreated or misaligned, say something. Stand with them. Stand with them. You got the person on your job who has been discriminated against, that's being treated differently. And the first thing you do is think about your paycheck. Well, one day that person that's being discriminated against could be you. And you're going to need allies and you're going to need witnesses. And yes, it's a very uncomfortable situation to be put in. But pray, ask for discernment, ask for courage, and stand with your brother. And on that note, again, we all have to answer for ourselves. Isn't that correct? Ooh, and what's the first command? What's the greatest commandment? Yes, buddy, to love our neighbor, not as we love ourselves, but as Christ loves us. And we know that's pretty darn hard. So, yeah, that's the challenge. At any rate, family, if you're watching this on replay on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, please, please, please subscribe, and share. Not only is it supporting the show, it supports the topics that we talk about so we can push it in the algorithm and keep everything fresh. Keep it fresh, keep it front of mind so we can keep Nolan Wells' case front of mind. Again, the most important question is what happened to Nolan Wells? What happened, fam? So at any rate, I'm wishing you love, peace, and joy, and we will be talking again soon. Blessings.